Lost Starship presents the Star Trek Armada 3 mod, one of the best mods for Sins of the Solar Empire Rebellion. Sins of Solar Empire has a very large modding community. This is one of the best, if not the best, mod for this game. There are many other mods including Sacrifice of Angels, Sins of the Galactic Empire, which is a Star Wars mod, but this one is one of the most thoroughly built mods there is. This is considered the natural evolution of the Star Trek Armada real-time strategy series. The goal of the game is to explore, secure resources, expand your empire, and conquer while defending against pirates or opponents until the victory conditions are met. I shall be presenting mostly the ships in this game, not tactics. I am probably not the best to go to for tactics on this game, although I've had the honor of playing with some very good players, and a few casual chats with some of the developers. There are 5 factions. Each faction has its own strengths and weaknesses. The Federation has strengths early in economy and has very well-rounded ships and pretty good defenses. The Klingons have extremely good combat ships with great frontal assaults, and many of their ships can cloak. They are the wolves of the game. The Romulans have extremely good shields, and most of their ships can cloak. They're very good at sneaky tactics, hit and runs, and defending themselves. The Cardassians have the ability to research into 2 different branches. One is Dominion, the other is pure Cardassian. Both have advantages. Cardassian ships are extremely tough, while the Dominion ships are capable of putting out a lot of damage. While the Borg are a playable faction, I will not be covering them in this broadcast. Their ships are mainly variations of geometric shapes. So let's get to the ships. The Nova-class Scout, used for early exploration and to spy on enemies. The Saber-class Fast Attack Frigate, one of the first frigates used in early expansion. The Saber classes are also supplemented with the Ambassador class. The Ambassador class is the first capital ship that the Federation gets in the game. And of course the venerable Miranda class, a frontline frigate used early in the game. Constellation class cruiser, another venerable cruiser which is a support ship used to help buff and repair other ships in the fleet. Steam runners are artillery frigates, fire long-range torpedoes, which are especially good at hitting stationary targets. And the Centaur in this game is used as an anti-fighter ship. And the well-known Intrepid class cruiser, in this case it's being sort of raped by a Klingon fleet. The Nebula class cruiser is a very well used capital ship with a lot of technology. The Challenger class cruiser is an envoy ship used to send out to other empires and try to woo them into forming alliances with you or deals with you. and the infamous Galaxy-class cruiser. The Galaxy-class is capable of saucer separation, torpedo volleys, and sort of command functions. The Curry-class cruiser is a light carrier. It can send out small squadrons of fighters to deal with the enemy. The Norway class is a bombardment cruiser, generally hated by all if found to bombard planets, in this case the Klingons, which are destroying it with extreme prejudice. The Excelsior class cruiser will be a workhorse cruiser for the Federation fleet. And of course the Defiant class, the fast attack cruiser, capable of making a devastating frontal barrage. The New Orleans class is a torpedo cruiser in this game, very good at attacking enemy structures. The Prometheus class actually separates into multi-vector assault mode. The Akira class heavy cruiser is the pinnacle of Federation cruisers. It has heavy weapons, heavy protection. And the Phoenix class is a support capital ship, capable of buffing and helping to protect other ships in the fleet. The Sovereign class battleship, a heavy capital ship, capable of unleashing deadly quantum torpedo barrages, Corbomite maneuver, and many other interesting things. The Typhon class carrier was a ship that first appeared in the PlayStation 1 Star Trek game. It's a carrier. It unleashes several squadrons of peregrine fighters or runabouts like this one. The Polaris class is one of two Federation dreadnoughts. This ship is a behemoth and has some very interesting technology to help out. The other dreadnought is the Excalibur class. As you can see, this ship has amazing destructive power. The Nukduj class scout is capable of cloaking. It's the first scout of the Klingons. The Burrell class bird of prey is going to be your fast attack frigate. This will be a great early expansion frigate with great frontal assault. It's a very good frigate. can see here it's used in a group. The Ravenous class battleship is going to be the first capital ship that the Klingons use. It works quite well with the bird of prey. The Corelli class cruiser is the light carrier. It's a great looking cruiser. The Katinga class cruiser, the infamous frontline Klingon battlecruiser. You can see here it has a devastating weapon capability. The Valkon class frigate is definitely a FASA-inspired ship. In this game it's used as an anti-fighter frigate. In the FASA game it was used as a scout. The Thalar class is another FASA ship. In that game it was actually an assault ship. In this game it's a support cruiser. The Chuk-Bey class frigate is a long-range attack frigate, a variation of the Kavort class. Chuk-Bey is capable of doing long-range torpedo barrages. The Predator class frigate. This is yet another FASA ship. In this game it's used as a bombardment frigate. Stalker class frigate, yet another FASA designed ship. This is a torpedo frigate. It works quite well against fixed emplacements. And the Vorcha class attack heavy cruiser, first seen in Star Trek The Next Generation. This is a solid capital ship capable of dishing out a lot of damage. And the Kavort class cruiser. This is more or less the Defiant equivalent. Kavort class has a great frontal assault, like all Klingon ships. I mentioned the Kronos class envoy cruiser because it's an interesting variation of the Katinga. It's used as an envoy ship. The Deathrite cruiser is the fire support cruiser. The Kavek class heavy cruiser is the top line of cruisers in the Klingon fleet. This is the Akira equivalent. The Sukjuk class carrier is the carrier capital ship, capable of launching several squadrons of fighters. The Feklar class battleship is the technical capital ship. It's capable of launching clouds of red evil, among other things. And the I can't pronounce that name, support battleship, which is a support and repair battleship. The Sword of Kalis class dreadnought is the behemoth juggernaut of the Klingon fleet. It has a tremendous frontal assault and tremendous firepower. The final dreadnought of the Klingons is called the Shockwave class. It's not a typical dreadnought. It's actually nowhere near the size of the Sword of Kahless, but it does have one significant capability.
Our souls to Stovacor.
The Talon class, as it appeared in the Next Generation, is the Romulan Scout. It's capable of cloaking and spying on other players. Shrike class, first appeared in Star Trek Armada, is a good early expansion frigate.
Standing by.
It's used along with the Vengeance class battleship, the first capital ship you get, which is probably inspired by a FASA design. First appeared in gaming in Star Trek Legacy, as far as I know. The Winged Defender is definitely a FASA design from the old tabletop game. This is a favorite Romulan ship among cult followers of games. The Nora class is the anti-fighter frigate. It looks kind of like a Talon with an exaggerated tail on it. The Dominus class is a support cruiser in this game, also capable of launching a couple of wings of fighters. I believe this first appeared in Star Trek Legacy. Griffin class, one of the originals from the Star Trek Armada game. It's a frontline cruiser. The Talus, brought all the way back from the 22nd century where it first appeared in the Enterprise. It's a torpedo frigate. And the White Wind, definitely another FASA, another favorite among cult followers. And this ship is bombardment frigate. Buzzard class is a heavy siege ship. It's capable of launching a tremendous frontal barrage, and in siege mode, it can put out a lot of damage, although it remains stationary in siege mode, almost stationary. The Raptor class is the artillery frigate, capable of launching long-range torpedo barrages. In this case, it's attacking a Borg ship. And the famous D'Deridex class battleship. It's capable of cloaking an entire fleet and other command functions. It's a frontline capital ship. The Heavy Defender is the natural evolution of the Winged Defender, although in my opinion this design is not as good. This is a very valuable ship in the game as a heavy cruiser. The Harrier is the Romulan carrier, capable of launching squadrons of Romulan bombers, Gladius bombers. The Falcon class heavy cruiser is the equivalent of the Federation Akira. It's the pinnacle of Romulan cruisers, also capable of doing Thalaron pulses, which are devastating to enemy fleets. The Harpy class is the Defiant equivalent. It's got a heavy frontal assault, it's fast and maneuverable. The Shadow-class support battleship is a capital ship capable of providing shield support for other ships, capable of generating photonic fleets for distraction and other unique technological tricks. The Valdor-class battleship, as seen in Star Trek Nemesis, pretty much just capable of opening a can of whoop-ass, especially in a frontal assault. And the Tavara class. This is an evolution of the Valdor class. It has very much the same capabilities, except better compared to the Valdor class. And of course the Scimitar class Dreadnought. It can do everything you would expect it to do. It's got enormous weapons, it can engage a perfect cloak, and fire while cloaked. While using the perfect cloak, it's almost impossible to detect. It is also capable of firing a Thalaron burst that can destroy an entire planet population. Terran-class Scout is the Cardassian Scout, a very good early exploration ship, and also used for checking up on the enemy. The Razalek class is the Cardassian fast attack ship, the first frigate of the Cardassian Union. It's a very tough little frigate. The Janissary class is one of my favorite capital ships because it's capable of capturing enemy ships. The Osset class is the anti-fighter frigate for the Cardassians. Here it's in a fleet attacking another Cardassian starbase. The Mosset class is the bombardment cruiser. It pummels enemy planets. The Tonga class is an excellent support and repair cruiser. Here the Tonga class is supporting Norin class cruisers, which is a frontline cruiser for the Cardassians. The Tonga class and the Norin class can only be researched by rejecting the Dominion branch of the research tree. The Vasad class is the artillery frigate, capable of launching long-range torpedoes, mostly against stationary targets. The Keldon-class battleship is an iconic battleship seen in Deep Space Nine. It's a frontline capital ship, pretty much just a fighting capital ship. The Perinas-class cruiser is the Defiant equivalent. Here you can see it's got a frontal shield, which makes it great at surviving head-to-head attacks. Darhel-class cruiser is a torpedo cruiser, capable of launching long-range attacks against enemy targets. The Galler class. This is the iconic Cardassian ship. As it should be in this game, it's tough and it's powerful, and the workhorse of the Cardassian fleet. The Kulunar class battleship is the tech battleship, or a tech capital ship for the Cardassians, capable of doing a lot of technological tricks. The Legate class battleship is a support battleship. It's capable of launching repair drones for the Cardassian fleet. The Archon-class carrier is the carrier capital ship for the Cardassians, capable of launching wings of fighters. In this case, it's going to launch some Bentar bomber squadrons.
We have come under attack.
The Hutet-class dreadnought is a behemoth juggernaut. It's tough, it's powerful, it can do things like build command decks to buff the fleet, it can launch torpedo barrages, it can also deploy defense turrets.
Ship is at the ready.
The first ship of the Dominion research branch are the Scarab-class attack frigates. These are the iconic Dominion ships. They work great in groups and buff each other the larger the fleet. The Manticore-class cruiser is the attack cruiser for the Dominion. These cruisers are capable of outputting a lot of damage. The Kreshkar-class frigate is the Breen support frigate. It can buff the shields of other ships in the fleet. The Gortran-class heavy cruiser is the Breen cruiser. Naturally, it can neutralize enemy ships with its energy dampening device, and is capable of putting out a lot of damage. Here there's a Tholian ship that's been neutralized.
Our scouts have discovered a new world.
The Mantis-class battleship is one of the frontline capital ships for the Dominion. Compared to their Alpha Quadrant counterparts, Dominion capital ships can put out a lot of damage. The Chimera is another frontline capital ship for the Dominion. And the Citrades-class dreadnought is the super capital ship for the Dominion. It is tremendously powerful. Thank you for watching Lost Starships. Be sure to subscribe and get the game. You'll find links to the mod in the description.